And he said, "What gave you that idea? Are you sure the Weston's not around here somewhere? Maybe he's behind that wino." That's when the guy called me. And I found out later that he didn't know how to work the GPS. Mr. Cummings had to take the GPS and program in the address, and he was calling directions through the little window to the driver. "You're going to come to a light and you're going to make a left." Yeah, I got it. "Which way am I turning again?" Close to 2 o'clock in the morning, because Wilkinsburg is 30 miles north of Pittsburgh. Close to 2 o'clock in the morning, this big, beautiful black stretch limousine pulled in, and it came around. Anybody who's been to IndyFurCon knows there's that concrete island in the front of the Weston with a circular drive. Came around, bumped its back tire up on that island, came down, BAM! Big Blue Fox has that on film, and you can hear a loud, familiar voice shouting, "Motherfucker!" just off camera to the right. And then Tal's voice saying, "Did he just do that?" And BBS voice saying, "Oh, yes, he did." And at that point, he stopped filming because I think he knew I wouldn't want this on film. The driver got out, rumpled, short-sleeved gray shirt, untucked, pit stains, and walked to the back. And I walked to the door and I opened it. And there was Jim Cummings, the most respected voice actor, our honored guest, staring at the electrical panel swinging hypnotically by a wire in front of his face. And I stepped back, and as he stepped out, I said, "Good evening, Mr. Cummings. I'm Sam Conway. I'm your host. Welcome to IndyFurCon." "I'm so sorry! Oh my God, I'm sorry!" And he just smiled and said, "I'd like to go to my room." This way. Mr. Cummings hasn't really mentioned to me if he wants to come back or not. I'm kind of scared to ask. So that's why chairmen look the way they do. You realize I'm 26 years old. This is what it does to you. What the hell else happened in IndyFurCon this year? So I tried to bury them, and then they keep coming back at me. One of the worst and best things I have is the Dorsai irregulars. Because we'll be sitting down to a drink sometime, and they'll say to one another, "Hey, do you remember that guy that was coked up, high on methamphetamine in IndyFurCon's lobby, running around urinating on fursuiters?" And I'll say, "What? When the hell did that happen?" That was 2010. Remember that? "You didn't tell me about that." And the answer is always the same. "Well, it would have upset you." I want to know these things. I say, "No, you're happier not knowing them." And I guess they're right. But then I learn about them later. Oh, man. Oh, good heavens, what else has happened?
What about the threats this year?
Oh, thank you. I buried that one too. Now it's back. Before the convention, okay, 10 years ago, this would not have been an issue. Before the convention this year, I lost my head. I needed a hit. Anyway, some yin-yang on Facebook posted the statement to the effect that he had an AK-47 and bomb-making skills, and he was going to go to IndyFurCon. Like I say, 10 years ago, yeah, whatever, blow me. Unfortunately, in today's society, as has been demonstrated, you simply cannot discount such things. So I had to call the FBI. I had to call the Pennsylvania State Police. We had a very, very significant security presence that I had to pay for. At the convention, there were plainclothes FBI agents at the con. Sorry, no fursuits. That would have been cool, though. That would have been cool to see a husky grab a guy, put him against the wall. That kind of happens anyway. But... And I told the agent in charge, "I want you to track this guy down because I want him." And he said, well, I can't let you. And I said, no, yes, you can. Because I'm not going to do anything to him. I'm just going to sue him. Because he cost me money. Well, as it turns out, the guy is a schmuck. He's a transient. Doesn't own any guns. Doesn't even have a place to live. It's more pathetic, really, than it is frightful. And the cops even said, okay, you could try to sue him, but he doesn't have any money. What are you going to do? So I said, all right. Could you rough him up a little bit just for me? They said, well, we can't on the record. I said, that's fine. Any favors? Little pisshead. And if he's watching this on Google, do not ever let me cross paths with you because you will not like the result. I guarantee you that. There's a saying in furry fandom, you don't fuck with Uncle Kage. I'll tell you why. This goes back to IndyFurCon 2002. Similar sort of thing happened. Somebody pointed me to a private message board, which wasn't password protected, which was odd. There was a fellow considered himself a performance artist of sorts. He decided that he was going to create havoc at the convention with security. They were going to stage fake fights and then run away and try to get security running around like the Keystone cops, and they were going to film it, and it would be entertaining. Unfortunately, I was looking at that message board and following their every move and making notes. And they made very, very detailed plans. Now, it was amusing, and I was just going to kind of head them off at the pass. He was even getting people from out of the country. He had 2 friends from South Africa who were going to be flying in to go to the convention just to help him screw with it. And it was funny until one phrase came up. Elevator hijinks. Don't mess with my elevators. We have enough problems with them. We don't need you to cause any more. Well, that made me mad. And when I get mad, especially when IndyFurCon's involved, I kind of get this odd posture, like this, like a cat arching its back. And I'm very much like a samurai sword. Once drawn, I must taste blood, or I cannot be satisfied. So, this guy, this message board, indicated he was a student at Kutztown University in Pennsylvania. So I called up Kutztown University and said, I'd like to speak to the Dean of Students. And I said, good afternoon, my name is Dr. Conway, and I'm running a conference in Philadelphia, and it appears that one of your students wants to disrupt it. What kind of student are you producing there? Do you condone this behavior? Have you no standards of conduct? And he said, no, of course, no, we don't tolerate this sort of thing. And we came to an agreement that maybe it's just sophomoric talk. The agreement was that if this guy tried anything, all I had to do was pick up the phone and call the Dean of Students at Kutztown University. I sent him a nice letter thanking him for this and outlining the agreement, and I kept a copy of that letter. I also discovered a few things about some of the other folks who were also students. Discussed them too. They also had copies of that letter set aside for them. I contacted the Philadelphia police, the same unit that handles things like abortion protesters and things like that in political rallies, and said, hi, I'm that big convention that brings all the money to your city. I got a problem. I need you guys to fix it. And they said, that's okay. Give us all the information. So I sent them a letter with the guy's name, description, even found a picture on the internet. And I printed that out too. But I still wasn't satisfied. I was still walking like this. I still thirsted. So I called up Philadelphia Airport. I said, I need to talk to Transportation Security Agency. I need your director. And I said, I have reason to believe that foreign nationals will be coming through Philadelphia Airport with the intention of sabotaging elevators in high-rise hotels.
Damn.
Now I was starting to feel better. I sent them, and they said, I sent the letter telling them all this. I do not have their names, but I anticipate they'll be coming to my convention, and when they show up, I will contact you. And nice little packets were made up and left at security for the badge pickup. And when they went to pick up their badges, they were directed to security. Oh, we have something for you. Strangely enough, nothing happened.
Is someone point out to that gentleman he needs to move to the right?
I will. We're coming behind you. You gotta be there. Thank you. That guy's looking at me too. What are you doing here? Surprise.
It's okay. Hell yeah.
Yeah!
There's just a gap. The line sort of. I don't know you, Ian.
What are we doing now? I don't know how to do that. If I do that, then I'll drink it. Okay, then I'll see what they
Oh, that's cute.
Everything's better with Cowbells.
I'm crouching tiger. I'm Hidden Dragon. You calm down,
If you've never seen the old Hollywood Squares game show, I will run through the rules very quickly, hopefully. We have a lovely group of panelists up here. I will introduce them, if I can go to my next slide. In the middle square, I have the lovely, gorgeous, and talented Bloodhound. In the upper left corner, thank you, I have some strange man who drinks a lot of wine. I mean, hello, Kage. You ain't coming?
He said he thought it was optional.
That's fine. I will find somebody to fill his spot.
Me!
In the upper right square, I have some guy who's not showing up. Someone will fill him in a minute. In my bottom left corner, I have my pen is reversed apparently. I have Roxas, your chairman. That's a great way to end a sentence. I'm an accountant, not a words person. In the bottom right-hand corner, I have Pandas. Upper center, I have Selma Gundy from Retail Cafe. On the left side of the center, I have my new friend who does, I went backwards in my pictures. On the right middle, I have Alkali. How does this work?
Because he's freaking good alkali now. What does it matter?
In the bottom center, I have Lanuve, a very talented artist whose boobs squeak apparently. And then, in the middle left, who I don't have a picture for because we just met him, I have my new friend Kyo. My good friend, which celebrity would you like?
Bloodhound.
Bloodhound in the center square. Excellent.
Woo!
Nobody cares. Bloodhound, the category of fairy tales. What was the name of the maiden told to let her hair down?
Does it work?
That should.
Hey guys.
Push the button.
Help, I don't know how.
Testing.
Yes.
All right, say it again.
In the fairy tale, what is the name of the maiden told to let down her hair?
My sister-in-law? No, wait. I think it's Rapunzel.
Okay, so your answer is Rapunzel.
Because I'm pretty sure it's not my sister-in-law. She don't let no hair down.
Is she correct or incorrect?
She's correct. She's correct.
That is correct. Circle gets the square. See how good my PowerPoint is. Excellent.
It's a quality PowerPoint.
X, who would you like to go with?
Let's go with Pandas, please.
Pandas in the bottom corner. Your question comes to us from the category of television. What new game show, hosted by Jane Lynch, puts teams of celebrities led by everyday people against each other in party-style games?
It is not purple.
This is not the purple pen.
I think it's Celebrity Survivor.
Celebrity Survivor. Is that correct or incorrect?
Incorrect.
You are correct. The correct answer is Hollywood Game Night. X gets the square. People are so excited.
Yay.
All right. Back to my friend, the Circle Boy. Because I'm really bad with names.
They have name badges on them.
You expect me to be able to read? Again, I'm a numbers guy. Who would you like to go with?
Alkali.
Alkali. This is a perfect question for Alkali.
You're doomed.
Yes. This is in the category of Disney things.
Right.
A fairy like you should know answers to this.
It's Mickey Mouse.
Is that your final answer? Question for you. Disney did a section of Silly Symphonies, which included a story about Pfeiffer, Fiddler, and Practical. By what group name do we better know these three characters?
Pfeiffer, say again.
Pfeiffer, Fiddler, and Practical.
Oh, those are the Rice Krispie faggots. They are the three blind mice.
Three blind mice. Do you agree or disagree?
I agree.
You are incorrect. Those are the three little pigs. X gets the square.
When he said I knew Disney, no.
All right. Dry scale. Who would you like to go with?
Torrin.
Torrid?
Torn for the block.
Torrid. For the win.
Replacement 2 for the win.
Current events, Torrid. I'm sorry, current events. I know furries don't know current events. In what city did protesting recently turn violent after police killed an unarmed teenager? You have a microphone down there.
Ferguson, Missouri.
The answer is Ferguson. Do you agree or disagree?
I agree.
He agrees. That is correct. Congratulations.
Get it wrong.
Wait.
That is a wrong button. That is still. Yes, that one there at the top. Yes, no, not that.
Just fill them all in. Fuck it.
Your button good.
Can you tell a furry runs this?
Trying to get really fancy.
Fake
Huh?
Fake
Fake two.
Fake two.
Like I said, take two for a second. I'm like, no. This is game two, not take two. All right, Torrid, my good friend. The category for your question is fairy tales. In the fairy tale, Little Miss Muffet is eating what?
Cottage cheese.
Cottage cheese. It was a great question. Come on now. It had so many good answers.
That was so perfect. We didn't even need to say it. You perverts thought of them all.
Do you agree with cottage cheese is the correct answer? No. The correct answer is curds and whey, so the contestant gets the square. Good guess, though. All right. Kage.
No. You had one job.
It was way too complicated.
2.2.
All right, we will memorize this. Kage, who would you like to choose?
I'm going to take a risk on Alkali.
You're going to go with Alkali. That's definitely
It's
a risk.
always a risk with
Good
Alkali.
luck. All right, Alkali. What special event did IFC host in our second year, 2011?
You specifically told us we were not allowed to speak of that anymore.
Not that one.
Oh, not that event.
For this one.
The special event that we hosted in our second year, 2011,
That is correct.
would be the Amazing Snurf Wars.
The Amazing Snurf Wars. Do you agree or disagree?
Oh, I mean, I'm going to screw you once today. We'll see if it's now or later.
Oh.
That is incorrect. We hosted a wedding for our GOH.
So I'll see you later.
Circle the set square. Zeddy who would you like to go with? Remembering that we have a circle on Torrid and a circle on Alkali at this point in time.
Pandas would give him honor.
Pandas the panda. Do you want a microphone?
Sorry.
You just have to reach over and squeeze the boob and squeeze. It's all right. Your category comes to us from movies. This year, Angelina Jolie plays the Disney villain Blake in a classic retelling. No, not Blake. I will admit that I am a fabulous villain, but not quite as fabulous as Angelina Jolie yet.
That's he's taken. Yeah, Zenny's it.
I believe I've seen this particular villain. I'm going to take a wild guess and go Maleficent.
Maleficent is your answer. Do you agree? I'm assuming because you're headed to no. That is correct. Maleficent is the correct answer.
Zenny wins!
Yay for winners!
Yay!
Still the wrong button.
Hello. How are you guys doing this weekend at IndyFurCon? Are we all drunk?
Oh!
Doing it wrong! You're supposed to be drunk. You're supposed to, yeah, see right there. You're supposed to be like, well, I go around and have sex with him and then... That's what you're supposed to do. Oh, crap. Oh, Lord.
It's not rape if you yell surprise.
That's right. That's right. It's not rape if you yell surprise. Oh, you know, I've noticed this particular convention. How many people have never been to a FurCon before? There's so many new people out. It's just great to see all the new people here. If this is your first FurCon, a few guidelines for you to follow. First, if you're in an elevator or in a stairwell and you begin to choke on some kind of deadly gas, don't panic. It's not a terrorist attack. That's just the way we like to man up the place. Mark our territory. When people walk in those front doors, we want to slap them with our balls from 30 feet away. It's the furry way. Second, if a fursuiter approaches you and says, "It's dangerous to go alone," he actually is about to give you a sword. Only not the kind you're thinking. My advice to you, if he chases you, is to run down some stairs. Fursuiters falling downstairs is the most adorable death ever. Third, if you're at a room party and you pass out or fall asleep, you then become what furries refer to as a CWH, or a collection of warm holes.
Oh!
Now, you cannot get the full furry experience unless you've done this at least once. If you don't leave here on Monday feeling like a train wrecked across all of your junk, you didn't do it right and you don't get your furry license. And finally, if by the end of the weekend you feel a little bit sick, you may have a rash in a painful, embarrassing place, don't panic. That's just God's way of saying that he has turned his back on you and you're going to hell with the rest of us. I got in trouble for doing that. FurCon, did you know that? I got that skit I just did? I got in trouble for guideline number 1. Somebody called me a misogynist. Yeah, seriously, because somebody came up and I thought it was kind of, being sort of complimentary because, let's face it, most of the time it's the guys who have more aroma. Women usually take care of that. guys, I don't walk around stank flies. We're mostly the ones responsible for that. So I thought it'd be kind of like a compliment. But after AntherCon, here's somebody backstage in front of me. This girl's like, well, that was a very misogynistic thing you said. I'm like, what are you talking about? It's like, women stink just as much as men. Okay, yeah. Slap people with your balls too. I can't believe I got it. So, thank you for coming to my show. Welcome to my show. This is my show. This is my job. This is my office. I'm going to put a plant back here. The torture devices will be over here. This is what I do for a living. People ask, what do you do during your job? This is my job. This is what I do. I get to sit at home and think of funny things to say and goofy voices to do them with. And that's fun. Although sometimes I've discovered that you can use a goofy voice and the words that you say with it really don't work. They become scary. And I don't know, it's like, imagine speaking the words of, say, a Vietnamese prostitute, but with a radio DJ voice. That will scare the undead away. Hey, sailor, me so horny. $10 gift you best boom boom. Me sucky sucky. People are, what? Get away. Another one that doesn't quite work, stoner drill sergeant. Mothers are like, not here anymore, dudes. Your ass belongs to the Corps. So, get on your faces and give me... What you dudes doing down there? Another very interesting one that I discovered quite a while back. Gay German Starfleet captain. So that is the damage. They're shooting at us. It was, they've blown up the dance club on deck 12. Some Romulan bitches. Okay, that phases to syphilis and fire. Who's the purple faces this time? I'm tired of the pink ones. When I was a kid, one of my favorite voices ever was the announcer guy from the old Super Friends cartoon show. Dude was so... Meanwhile, at the Hall of Justice, that dude, Superman contemplates his situation in the ejaculation booth. That's what we had. We had the Hall of Justice. That's where all the good guys were. And then there was the Legion of... Meanwhile, at the Legion of Doom. And that's where all the bad dudes were, was in the Legion of Doom. That's what we had. Hall of Justice, the Legion of Doom. And Legion of Doom, man, that just sounded like the most evil place you could ever imagine. But I have to wonder lately, if they rebooted this thing for the new, current, sensitive generation, what would they have to retitle this? What would be the most evil thing that, some of these kids could think? Meanwhile, at the Temple of Insensitive Text Messages, Boss, I got on the internet and I called a gay trigender post-op a drag queen. Good. Can anyone stop this injustice? Look, it's the social justice warrior friends. Drama boy, no! Stop, evildoer, you're e-wounding my feelings. Quick, victim girl, commence Twitter attack. Fools, you're no match to my insensitivity. Quickly, camel toe boy girl. Activate the transgenderator. Oh no, they've sent a worldwide text message saying that we have no penises. Quick, social justice warrior friends, combine to form Crybot. Of course, in the furry fandom it would be totally different. I mean, I'm pretty sure that our place of ultimate good and place of ultimate evil would be the same place. Meanwhile, in the hotel filled with nothing but room 366, that'd be our headquarters. Oh. I was looking through a bunch of boxes and crap the other day, and it was just old papers and stuff. I realized that it's been 10 years since I've smoked cigarettes. I quit 10 years ago. It wasn't wasn't that difficult. I just went to the doctor and got my lungs stapled. I could only say one word at a time for a while, but it was a bitch smoking a cigarette. I had to breathe like a hummingbird getting a blowjob or else I'd pass out. You know, it's crazy. People are still, to this day, they're going crazy over this stomach stapling operation when, you know, they get this, I don't, you know, people paying tens of thousands of dollars to have the Office Space stapler guy come in and it's so funny. It's a stapler. You know, it's a state of all the high-tech crap we've got, right? We've got surgeons in the operating room using ultra-high sound enhanced computer imaging and lasers and HD cameras that can stuff right up your ass. And then they walk out and they see the lady at the front desk stapling some papers and go, "What is that?" "That's some Dr. McCoy shit right there." So now, by God, we've got a problem. We're going to put some staples in it. "Doc, I ate too much." "We'll staple your stomach in half." "Hey, Doc, I jerk off too much." "We'll staple your hand to your face." "Yay! Jesus hates me less now." And people are praising this modern miracle of medical technology. Yeah, look out, George Jetson. We got the stapler. The peak of our technology. You know, mankind's existence was not an accident. God put us here on purpose because he wanted the stapler for himself. He wanted something to shoot at the cat when he was bored. So now, with our purpose in the universe completed, we can sit in front of the TV and gain 500 pounds. For no reason. There was a woman in the news, I don't know if you might have read about this. A woman in the news, she weighed 800 pounds. She sat on a couch in front of the TV for 3 years because she couldn't get up. Nobody could get her up. She just was there. When they came to rescue her from the couch, and that's the exact words that they used in the news article, rescue her from the couch. You know, like the couch is there going, "Fuck you, this bitch is mine. I want her big ass on me. I need the salt." When they came and rescued her from the couch, they found that her skin had fused with the fabric of the couch. And I'm reading this and I'm just thinking, how? You can't fall asleep on a couch weighing 120 and then overnight sometime just, you know, wake up in the morning, oh no. Wouldn't there have had to have been that first day where you realized you couldn't get up to take a shit? I mean, how do you just blow something like that off? I mean, you're on the couch. Pizza! What do you? How do you do that? I don't get it. I don't understand it. It's just weird to me. And they're blaming the food. They're blaming the food for this shit? Oh, it's the trans fats. It's the trans fats. The woman's body was trying to eat the couch. Trans fats? You'd have to be eating Trans Ams. So, hey, why don't we just go with the stapler stuff together? That'll solve everything. You know what? No. I mean, my big question is, where's this woman's friends? You know, what happened to good old-fashioned positive reinforcement? You know what I mean? Where were the people who were supposed to give enough of a shit about this poor woman to go and slap the chicken out of her hands and give her a fucking carrot? You know? Don't give some guy, you know, $12,000, millions of dollars to staple your stomach together. Just if you think you eat too much, watch a few episodes of Tosh.0. You'll never want to eat again in your life. And then you'll be thin, and you can bounce to the doctor's office and say, "Screw you, doc, I did it on my own. I don't need your money-grubbing stapling millions of dollar operation." You grab the stapler, you staple his nuts to a clipboard. Deal with that, doc. And I know, by the way, I know that it's bad. You're not supposed to make fun of disabilities. You're not supposed to. This is bad. I don't want to offend anyone. This is, you know. Meanwhile, in the caves of differently abled criticism, no, we're not. Unless it's an eye problem. For some reason, that one's exempt. I don't know why. Because, you know, if you have glasses, you know that eventually everyone in the world is going to come up to you and put your glasses on their face and go, "Wow, you really can't see where the crap." I don't even know how you do it. I see that all the time. But for some reason, I never see some guy snatching a walker away from an old man and then, wow, you really can't walk worth a shit. Why do you even keep going? Just lay down and die, you little fuck. That's completely unacceptable. You can't do that. It's wrong to do that. It's wrong. So now everybody's going to be going, Terry, we made fun of crippled people. Oh, maybe. Y'all laughed at it, you folks. Don't blame me. But I'm not, actually. I'm not making fun of disabled people. I'm not. I'm making fun of the way people communicate. Because we're bad at that. I guarantee you, the second thing ever said in human communication is, what the fuck are you talking about? We can't say what's really on our mind. We built a language entirely based on how to avoid saying what we really want to say. So even when we do open our mouths to say something to each other, it's more confusing than a hermaphrodite bathhouse. And if you think about the things that we say to each other, most of it doesn't even count. This is like, drive careful. You ever heard that? You ever be heading towards the door and you pick up your keys and somebody, drive careful. Has that ever changed anyone's driving habits in the world? Just drive careful. Well, I was going to drive like an asshole, but now I was going to go kamikaze my ass into a van load of paraplegic Asian nuns, but now I don't have to. Thank God for you, sir. It's useless to say that. It doesn't mean anything. Waste of breath. And even when we do say something that actually does have a meaning, it's almost never the meaning that we wanted it to have, or that was on our mind to say. Like when people say these 3 words, I hate these 3 words, no offense, but. Translation, next thing out of my mouth is really going to piss you off.
Not enough. Keep going.
Pour.
When?
Jump.
They know me so well in here. You know, some people have said to me, they said, Uncle Kage, you must be a connoisseur. I'm not. I'm a lush. Do you know the difference?
Yes.
It's whether you spit or swallow. That's an bona fide joke. I would put this down, but then I would not have it in my hand, so I'm just going to continue holding it, hope you don't mind. As Tu alluded, this is the hardest thing in the world, is to follow To the Ranting Griffin. I always plead with people, let me go first, and I'll warm up the crowd, and then he can do the real comedy, so I gotta, wow. This will be tough. I'll try, though. I've got incentive.
Incentive. I like this. Welcome to my story hour.